Picture this. It's 6 a.m. on a Tuesday. You wake up, check your phone, and there's an email from HR. You've been laid off, along with 30,000 of your colleagues. No call, no meeting, just an email. That's what happened at Oracle on March 31st, 2026. And here's the part that should make your blood boil. Oracle had just reported a 95% profit surge. This isn't an isolated incident. This is a pattern, and today we're going to follow the numbers, company by company, and answer the question that everyone in tech is quietly terrified to ask. Is AI replacing us? And is this the new normal? Welcome back. If you're new here, we cover what's actually happening in tech, not the press releases, the reality. Today's video is going to be a little different. We're going deep. Real numbers, real companies, real quotes from CEOs who are finally saying the quiet part out loud. Let's get into it. Let's start with scale, because the numbers are genuinely staggering. In the first 3 months of 2026, just Q1, the tech industry cut 52,050 jobs. That's a 40% jump from the same period last year. In March alone, 45,000 layoffs in a single month. To put that in context, tech employment right now is measurably worse than it was during the 2008 financial crisis, worse than COVID. A Hacker News thread covering this data got over 1,000 points, which, if you know that community, means even engineers who usually debate the finer points of Rust versus Go stop to say, this is bad. But here's what's new in 2026, and why this wave feels different from the ones before it. In previous layoff cycles, 2022, 2023, companies said things like macroeconomic headwinds or right-sizing for growth, vague, corporate, deniable. This time, CEOs are just telling you, let's go company by company because you deserve the full picture. Oracle. On March 31st, 2026, a Tuesday, Oracle began terminating approximately 18% of its entire global workforce. That's somewhere between 20,000 and 30,000 people across the US, India, Canada, Mexico, and Uruguay. No warning, the notifications arrived at 6 a.m. EST via email. The stated reason: a strategic pivot toward AI data center infrastructure. The context that makes this infuriating: Oracle had just posted a 95% profit surge. Reddit's R Technology had 26,000 upvotes on this story within hours. The top comment, 6,000 upvotes, read, "Tech companies treating humans like disposable apps, delete, update profits, repeat." That's not a fringe take. That's the mainstream sentiment right now. Block, the most significant one. In early March, Block CEO Jack Dorsey announced the elimination of 4,000 jobs, roughly 40% of the entire company. And unlike other CEOs who hide behind euphemisms, Dorsey was explicit. He cited, and I'm quoting directly, the growing capability of AI tools to perform a wider range of tasks. Researchers tracking layoff data called this the single largest AI-attributed layoff event in tech history. The first time a major company cut nearly half its workforce and said on the record that AI was why. That's a landmark moment, and it barely made headlines outside of tech circles. The broader wave Block wasn't alone. In Q1 2026, companies including Meta, Google, Amazon, Atlassian, Pinterest, and Salesforce all announced significant cuts, and all of them explicitly linked those cuts to productivity gains from AI. Not efficiency, not restructuring, AI. Here's the number that crystallizes it. In March 2026, AI led the list of stated reasons for tech layoffs, accounting for 25% of all firings that month. In all of 2025, AI was cited in fewer than 8% of layoff announcements. That's not a trend, that's a phase change. I want to pause on the numbers for a second because it's easy to talk about 52,000 jobs like it's an abstraction. There was a video that went viral on Reddit this month. Someone posted a TikTok of a tech professional, 18 years of experience in tech sales, a PhD candidate who has been unemployed for 3 years. The Reddit thread got 5,700 upvotes. The comments were a mix of shock and grim recognition, because it's not a rare story anymore. We're seeing something genuinely new, a class of highly educated, highly experienced workers for whom the industry has simply moved on, not because they weren't good at their jobs, but because the jobs themselves are being restructured around tools that don't need lunch breaks or health insurance. And the hardest part? The companies doing this are reporting record profits. Oracle, Meta, Google. The gains from AI are going straight to shareholders. The costs are being paid by the workers. So the question everyone is asking, is this a cycle or is it a permanent shift? Here's what the data tells us. The optimist case. Tech has always gone through waves. The dot-com bust, the 2008 crash, the 2022 correction. Each time new roles emerged, AI creates new categories of work too. Prompt engineers, AI trainers, safety researchers, infrastructure roles. OpenAI is worth $852 billion and generating $2 a month in revenue. Someone is building and maintaining all of that. The industry isn't shrinking, it's restructuring. The realist case, this cycle is structurally different. Previous layoffs were about companies that overhired during a boom. This time, companies are cutting profitable operations because AI can do the work cheaper. That's not a correction, that's substitution. Jack Dorsey didn't lay off 40% of Block because times were hard. He did it because AI meant he didn't need those people anymore. And when the CEO of a major company says that explicitly, you have to take him at his word. The data from Blockchain Council's analysis says it plainly. Companies are no longer blaming AI to deflect. They're citing it because it's accurate, and because they've calculated that shareholders will reward the decision. The uncomfortable conclusion: for certain categories of work, mid-level coding, customer support, data processing, content moderation, some sales, functions, the floor has dropped. Those roles are being automated faster than new roles are being created to replace them. That doesn't mean all tech jobs are going, but it means the labor market for tech workers in 2026 looks fundamentally different than it did in 2020. And anyone telling you otherwise is probably selling something. Okay, so what do you actually do with this information? If you're in tech right now, the roles that are most exposed are the ones that are most routine. If your job is largely doing the same task repeatedly, processing, summarizing, generating boilerplate code, basic QA, you should be paying attention to this closely. The roles that are most resilient are the ones that require judgment in ambiguous situations, architecture decisions, client relationships, novel problem solving, the ability to ask the right question, not just execute the answer. The honest advice is this: figure out which category your work falls into, not defensively, clearly, if you're entering the industry. The most important thing you can learn right now isn't a specific tool or language, it's how to work with AI systems effectively and how to do the judgment-heavy work that AI still can't do well. The people thriving in 2026 are the ones who treat AI as a multiplier, not a threat. If you're a hiring manager or executive, the productivity gains from AI are real, but the reputational cost of how you handle this transition is also real. Oracle's method, 6 a.m. emails, no warning, record profits, is already a case study in how not to do this. The companies that navigate this well will be the ones that treat the transition as a responsibility, not just an optimization. Here's where we are: 52,000 tech jobs in 3 months. AI explicitly cited in a quarter of all layoffs. The largest AI-attributed workforce reduction in history at Block. And companies like Oracle cutting tens of thousands while posting record profits. This is not panic. This is information, and information is the only thing that lets you make good decisions in a moment like this. If this video was useful, share it with someone in tech. Not because it's scary, but because they deserve to know what's actually happening. I'll link the sources in the description, and if you want to go deeper on any specific company or angle, drop it in the comments. I read them.